Welcome to your timeline exercise. Remember, this exercise is an examining of your life. All right, it's a kind of going back and looking at your life and seeing where your successes have been in life. Okay, you're going to think of opportunities that you've come across where you've taken advantage of them and that led to success. Possibly even it led to failure. So you could put it on there and then you'll see what to do next. All right, we're going to take each one of those blocks of time and we're going to analyze it. All right, I just did another similar exercise to this for creating my $1,000,000 message, and basically we're going back in time looking at 17-year increments, and when we look at those times we're going to pull out stories. Right now this is a little bit different. Both of them are examining life. The difference is this one we're looking for patterns of success. All right, patterns of success, or even patterns that we can use to help build on in the future for future successes. So this is just a quick video to give you a show of how to do this. Okay, so you can see here, you just take a piece of paper. You can make it however you want. So that's what this is kind of about. The only difference is this is about your successes. All right, look at your successes in life and put them on here. All right, and it starts all the way from when you were born, okay, all the way to 100 years. So mine goes up to 2073. All right, now of course, like I said on my other one, I made the mistake of leaving way too much room for the future because I'm not examining the future. I can't, because I've never lived in the future. So now I just compressed it down to a small bit right here, and here's the timeline. Lessons learned. So I think about, okay, I was born in 1973. I don't know much happened between 1973 and say 1979, but I know that we moved when I was 19 in 1979, so I might put that down as something that happened to me in that time. Now you can get as detailed as you want, or you can be as vague as you want. The more detail you have, the more you're going to learn. All right. Now I think about, did I learn anything from moving at that point in my life? At 6 years old, probably not too much. I don't remember learning anything at that point. All right. So at 10 years old, 6, we moved to Turtle Creek from Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania. So I was born in Pittsburgh. So we moved to Wilkinsburg. Moved from Wilkinsburg to Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. And in Turtle Creek, there I met my friends, Gerald. I met Sean and Gerald. So in here, I could put their names in here. You know, Gerald. I met Sean a little bit after that. You know, what did I learn here? Lessons learned, or learned. I learned they like the outdoors. Okay, so you can see here on the top, I'm putting what I learned from it, and on the bottom, I'm putting the events. All right, and those are, so you can see it's not really, I'm not looking for those, successes. I'm looking for my successes. All right, and yours are going to be different. Maybe meeting friends at your time wasn't successful for you, and you don't want to put that on here. That's fine. You can put whatever you want, but you want to put these events that help jar your memory on successes that you may have had. So I know too, around 10 years old, there was a karate tournament. Right, and I learned, okay, so just before the break, I was talking about the karate tournament, and at that karate tournament in the morning, I was about 10 years old, and I woke up and my stomach hurt so bad. I just knew that it wasn't the right time. Okay, maybe I'll do another karate tournament some other time. It was something that scared me, though. In reality, my stomach was twisted up and hurting because I was scared and nervous to go. And that was a huge learning model for me when my dad told me to go ahead and get ready. Bring the stuff that you're going to use for karate, the karate gi, the uniform and everything. Let's go. When you get there, maybe you'll feel better so you can compete. Well, he knew that if I took a step toward that goal of competing in a karate tournament, I would feel better. I would get there, probably feel more comfortable because I would see a lot of people, and I would then be able to, compete in the tournament. And actually I did, and I had a second place medal in my age group. So he knew that learning curve, or that learning model, really accelerated my life through the time. Because I learned that even if I fear something, I can go do it. And chances are, if I fear it, if I take a step towards it, that fear may go away. So that was one thing I definitely wanted on my timeline. Now remember, I'm just going to put a few highlights up here so that you can get busy on yours, all right? Now, you want to be as detailed as you possibly can with your life, all right? And even after you go through and do it one time, if you go through, you do it, spend an hour or you spend 20 minutes and you put some things on there, just get started, all right? Remember that key, take action, get started. Do one at least, and then you'll start to think of other things. If you just sit and talk about or think about how you don't have anything to put on there, you'll never come up with anything. So at least start with one thing that happened in your life that happened that you felt was a success, or you can pull some successes out of it. Maybe a move, maybe moving from junior high to high school, or maybe moving to a new town. You eventually saw some successes there. And I know there was failures as well, but this exercise is to pull out all these successes, all right? So let's take another look. 1993, let's go back to 1991 right here. And right here I joined the Marine Corps, and I stayed in the Marines till about 99. Okay, some successes there. Also the fear thing. Conquer fear. Okay. Got married during that time, and this can just keep on running. Okay. Okay, marriage. USMC in here. About right here I joined the Navy. Okay. So on the bottom is all the events. And at the top is what did I learn? What did I learn out of that? Spelling is not required either, just so you know. Okay, so I conquered fear here in the Navy. Many lessons learned, but one was that I know for me, I like to be active. I like to be doing something. And when at this block of time here, about 99 to here, what I learned was, as a civilian, I learned that I like action. I like to move. All right. Those are some things that I learned out of that. How did I learn? I didn't know at the time I was learning anything. At the time, I didn't know I was learning anything. But now that I can go back and examine it, I see what I learned. I see the outcome of those events in my life. So use all you can here at the bottom. If you have multiple things that happened during this time, because even during this time, maybe in 1994, I was part of a Cuban migrants. Right? What I learned there, that even though I'm deployed and gone away, and at the time, Roxanne, my wife, she was my fiance at the time, she sent me a letter to break up with me because she thought that, she listened to what her mom told her. Her mom told her that I was doing that on purpose to get out of marrying her. And so my wife, my fiance at the time, she thought that was the case. And so she sent a letter breaking up with me, So when I look back on that now, I learned that by communicating, it's so important that the communication gets through to people. And at that time, I wasn't able to communicate to her about what we were doing, and she wasn't able to communicate that to her mother, who very much so was upset because of those actions taking place. I learned the importance of communication. Okay. So basically, you're going to go through time you were born, and maybe you had something happen at birth, you know, that you didn't have any control over, but you, in some way, learned something now that you're looking back at that. Okay. So you take from now, from when you were born all the way out to today. Today, did something happen yesterday or today that you learned from? That should go on your timeline. All right. And like I said, if you can take an hour, that would be perfect. You know, block out an hour time. Use a piece of paper. Use a poster board. Doesn't have to be professional looking. It just has to be done in a way that you can learn from it. So thanks for taking time to examine your life. This timeline exercise should give you great bearing on, you know, how to move forward in the future. The goal is that you come out of it with knowledge about your life and how your pattern of success works. Okay. Think about the awareness you'll have when you're done with this. So if you can spend an hour doing it, that would be great. If you can only spend 30 minutes doing it, that's okay too. If you can get 30 minutes today, and of course you don't have a time to get this done. You don't have to be done today or tomorrow or by the end of the course. This is an exercise for you to use to help your life. All right. So you can do it today and then come back and do it again. You're going to find some new things, some new nuggets of gold. All right. It's like mining your life for gold, and that's my goal for you in this. So take the time, as much time as possible, to do this. Concentrate on it, and you know, try and get other things out of your way before you sit down to do it with no distractions. Okay, what I have written right here is that basically the life you're living today is a manifestation of your past. So whatever you've thought, done, and had in the past has led to today. Whatever you're doing right now, watching this video, your past brought you here. This is why you're here. You may not know, but until you go back and examine that, all right? Go back and look at your life and see what successes you've gained out of there, all right? Even some successes you may have out of something catastrophic that happened to you, okay? Maybe there's something that happened to you that at the time seemed like there was no good whatsoever that could even come out of it. But now, many years later, you can look back and see if there was anything. Can you mine anything good out of that? All right, so again, this isn't to rehash old stuff. This is to mine gold out of your life and use it for the future so that you can start to build on these successes. You will look back and see that you do have successes, and there are lessons learned out of everything in life. So go ahead and spend some time on doing this. There'll be a place to place some comments on here, or pictures if you want to post pictures of your timeline, something like that. The more you interact with the group, the more you'll learn. But it's certainly not required to do any of this. Just taking time to read it. I just want to be your guide and help you through it. So enjoy the time, enjoy your week, and I will talk to you again next week. Have a great one.